able to gut out that win? What did you see from your guys in the fourth quarter?
We started guarding, the second half more so than even the fourth quarter. If we had a lot of wide open shots in the third quarter and held them to 22, we felt we were in good shape. But to give up 70 in the first half, obviously way below our standard, and to hold them to 36 in the second half was great. 39-point first quarter, 36-point second half, including 14 in the fourth. So got stops, followed the game plan and personnel much better than the first half, where we gave up a lot of threes, a lot of missed assignments, and then saw some things at half, cleaned that up, and we're in good shape.
What did you see from Shepard? A lot of confidence and poise there in that second half.
Yeah, taking big shots, being aggressive. I love the 5-point line pull up, even though he airballed. Like, that shows his confidence, and he was on a good streak there. But we're gonna need that from him. Some guys in our lineup looking at some different things, and we're in a little bit of a lull there. And I think his offense obviously was a big part of that, getting us out of that.
With a follow-up to Reed, do you see him kind of growing every day, kind of every time he goes out there?
Yeah, I mean, the offense is what it is. He's been really good at that. He has big nights. It propels us for the most part. Defensively, taking the challenges is the biggest thing, and putting a little more resistance. I think him and the team did that in the second half to hold them to the numbers we did. And Wembanyama going 5 for 21, Fox 6 for 15, and Castle 5 for 19, and them shooting 39% shows that we obviously guarded a much more disciplined, high level in the second half. Reed was a big part of that.
And obviously, Reed made some big shots in that fourth quarter, but how much did you enjoy seeing the effort where he recovers on Champagne in the corner and blocks that three-pointer when the game was tied late?
Yeah, that's what we were talking about. It was contagious, the group in general. I think you don't want to be a weak link out there, and he made a bunch of big plays. Got some tip balls that we almost got, but disrupted their offense, and then took on the challenge of whoever we had him on. And so good job there, because Champagne, obviously 21 in the first half. He hit 2 early threes, and that's it for the game. So we did a much better job third and fourth quarter on him.
For the season, you guys rank pretty low in threes attempted and threes made. Do you view that as like a problem for your team to solve, or is that just the nature of how this team plays, I guess?
It's a little bit of how we're built. I think we don't rely on that to win. We can do a lot of other things, and we have really good isolation players that draw some doubles, and we should, take advantage of getting a little bit more threes there. But we got great offensive rebounders, slashers as well. And so, we're not an analytic-driven team where we're going to take the best shot for certain guys. And for Kevin, he's always been one of the main mid-range scorers in the league. Alperen's is one of the best low-post scorers, so you're not going to always rely on threes when you got those guys going.
Coach, you talked about confidence earlier. Is that what you wanted to see from the way that Reed and the way that Jabari played in the fourth quarter, and being able to use Kevin almost as a decoy for them to take those type of shots?
Yeah, we understand how teams are going to guard him. They weren't leaving him at all, whether he was handler or screener. And so to use him as a screener and free up that space for the others really was beneficial tonight. And so the other guys are going to have to step up. We know that teams are going to make some of the young guys prove it. And fortunately, those guys stepped up and hit those big shots.
How were you able to sort of keep the big guy on the other side from even getting started tonight?
Yeah, took away his airspace. We're, trying to make him uncomfortable. Threw multiple bodies at him, switched some actions. When we did make a mistake early, he hit the jumper, the mid-range jumper, those type of things in the first half. We showed about 10 clips of us giving them points, outside of the game plan and personnel discipline. And so focus on him was to show him bodies, get up under him, take away his airspace, be physical, and felt like we kept him out of a good rhythm tonight.
You talk about how you guys aren't necessarily built to take that many threes in a game. With the math disadvantage that can cause, does that make someone like Reed that much more important because of what he can do beyond the arc?
Yeah, I wouldn't say we're not built to do it. If we got doubles and it leads to that, we were before the slump shooting a really good percentage from three, although on low attempts. And so if they're doubling, we know we're going to get some of those shots. But Reed brings another dynamic, no doubt. Kevin has those shots, but he'll take those sometimes, get to his mid-range. Amen is more downhill, but him in the pick and roll is a little bit different. They have to defend him different and step up, and it opens up some other things. And so a little bit of what Fred did last year, getting those walk-in threes when the bigs are back in the drop, and we want him to shoot that every time, be aggressive. And to your point, I think it opens things up for us.
Coach, there were a few groups that had Dorian, Tari, and Amen out there. Obviously, it's still kind of new in terms of that pairing together, but what did you see from that group that you liked?
No, you saw the defensive intensity in the second half with those guys. you'll see that group with Jabari and Kevin as well. We'll get to more of that small ball with the injuries and stuff now, but minute restrictions is part of it. And, we're trying to balance guys who can be in for 20 minutes or 15 minutes here and there. And once they're healthy and rhythm and get their timing back, I think we can see a lot more of those lineups. And they're really good defensively and can do some good things offensively as well with the pace we were playing with.
And you talked before the game about wanting to do a better job executing late game situations. What did you see tonight that allowed y'all to be successful in those situations?
Yeah, I think we picked on the matchup that we liked. We got to the spots that we liked, and then when they did come help, we made some really good passes. Guys relocated on the perimeter, Reed in the corner once, Jabari on a kick out. So the ball wasn't sticking. We got to our spots, and when they doubled, we made the right play and lived with the result.
Jabari strung together some nice games and back-to-back games here. What's been the difference for him over the past 2 games or so?
Aggression and confidence. Continue to hunt those shots. Same great looks he was getting. We know he's a really good shooter, and that's not going to stay that way. So those will fall, and then once you see one go in, it kind of opens the floodgates. So he's been confident since then, since the last game, and didn't really ever waver. Didn't shy away from taking those shots. Was frustrated with himself, but stayed the course, put the work in, and you're seeing the results now.
Only 6 offensive rebounds for you guys today. How much of that is Steven not being out there, and then what can you guys do to kind of compensate for the lack of extra possessions that you're getting there?
Yeah, a lot. He carves out a lot of space. We're going to have to really emphasize guys crashing, from the perimeter as well. But Clint will make up for some of that, and we just need everybody to continue to do, as far as a committee, what he was doing. Nobody's going to do it like him. Like I said, he's 2 or 3 bodies on him, and it frees that up for other guys, and we'll have to make up for that as a unit. Thanks, Coach. Thank you.